Caroline, thank you so much. Caroline Hyde there with the very latest on that Google tax in Italy. Now, still with us is Yannick Naud. He's portfolio manager at Devon King. Yannick, this tax basically touches anything that's advertising. It also touches really these big American companies specifically. Do you like technology stocks?
Yes, I like technology stock. I mean, obviously, in terms of valuation, you can't be carried away too much. But within a technology stock, you have some company having quite good earnings, and therefore you have positive growth. I think this news is an interesting news. It's very difficult for a country, as a standalone country, to tackle this kind of tax avoidance. It has to be done at the European level or at least at the OECD level, and it will be very difficult. And the only example of a country trying to push the agenda was France with the transaction tax, and they say they will do it no matter, risking in fact the whole financial industry in the process. And by doing that, got some traction, and therefore we saw in Europe some willingness to do so. Today the project is a bit is having problems, but all in all it's possible. So if Italy is able to push through and to convince the other partner, it's going to be very difficult because Ireland will be against, Holland will probably be against as well. To go through, it might work, but I think it's going to be a very, very long process.
Is this going to be a trend for 2014, or will it actually take much longer?
Well, I mean, you have tax avoidance, and you have the protection data that the problem we have in Europe with the NSA and so on. So in a way, those companies are is a bit like banks. They're the perfect target in order to try to tax them more, because people don't like their data to be shared, and in fact they want the company to repay the community, and in order for them to pay tax. All in all, those companies are public company. They are a retail company. I mean, people are using it every day. In fact, they should be, in terms of relationship with the customer, there should be an incentive for them to be more transparent and do a bit like Starbucks did in the UK, voluntary pay tax, even though they could have some way not to do it.
Yannick, talk to me a little bit about your portfolio for 2014, right? What's your favorite play in the next 12 months?
Well, right now, valuations are pretty high, so you have to look at...
Even in Europe?
Yes, but you have to look at... Europe is slightly better than USA, but you have to look sector by sector, what didn't do so well. And if there's one sector that did terribly this year, and in fact in the last 3 years, is the big European oil E&P company. I mean, production is down for 3 years in a row. The capital, the amount invested exploded with no expanding cash flows, and therefore the situation is terrible. Therefore, right now we have company at pretty good price-earning ratio, having pretty good dividend yield, and we expect, as long as the Brent stay above 100, we expect, in fact, production to increase a bit and cash flow to increase much more. And therefore, because expectations are quite low, we could have some good surprise for the like of Shell, Statoil, Eni, or Galp in Portugal, for example.
Very interesting. Yannick, thank you so much for that, and I wish you happy holidays and a great 2014. We'll see you very soon. Yannick Naud, their portfolio manager at Devon King. Now, coming up, call it a